Hello and welcome to our second video in our series of the 5 essential factors to get your business to show up on Google. My name is Andres Bustillos and I am the Senior SEO and Digital Marketing Consultant with SEO Digital Partners. So I wanted to let you guys know that it is Memorial Day weekend when we're recording this, so there might be some noises in the background of local people mowing their lawns and whatnot. And I hope that everybody enjoys their Memorial Day weekend. And either you're out by the lake or in the backyard cooking your favorite food, hanging out with family and friends. Yeah, it's good times, but always be safe. If you're vaccinated or not vaccinated, we recommend wearing a mask, but that's enough of that. So let's get started. So last time we went through and talked about our 5 essential factors to get your business to show up on Google, and the first one that we talked about was technical SEO. All right, so what is technical SEO? So does that mean that you call a technician and they analyze your website? Yes, actually. SEO specialists or an SEO analyst can look at your website and run through an audit and give you some recommendations for it. Now, why is technical SEO so important? Well, it's the foundation of your SEO and your SEO strategy. So you want to make sure your foundation is strong. Kind of like building a house. For those of you that are out there building houses or have been in the real estate market, you know that your foundation has to be solid, has to be, prime, because everything else is going to sit on it. Same thing with SEO. Your technical SEO has to be strong and up to best practices. So let's get started, shall we? First off, we want to talk about the actual importance of, or actually define technical SEO for you. So technical SEO refers to optimizing the website to help the search engine spiders or bots crawl the website and index the website. And what they're crawling, what they're indexing should be your content assets. Now, your content assets include not only your web pages, but also your images, your video, your PDF files that are on your website that people download. All of this stuff is important, and you want to make sure it gets indexed on the web so that people that are searching for that particular subject or that particular product can find it, right? Because after all, the search engine's main job is to pop quiz. Search engine's main job is to find the best relevant content for that search, right? So you want to make sure that what you put out there is relevant to the search engine spiders and bots, and it's categorized properly so that it can be indexed properly by the search engines and the bots. All right, so we went over why it's important. Let's go over the 4 elements of technical SEO. All right, so if you're taking notes down, I would suggest you write down CRIA. All right, and then we're going to go over what that means. So CRIA. C for crawling, and we're not talking about a little toddler crawling on the floor. We're talking about the actual bots and the search engine spiders crawling your web pages. We want to make sure that you have a tip-top Robots.txt file, and we can talk about that in a little bit more detail later in another video. We want to make sure that you don't have any broken links on the site. In other words, when somebody clicks on something, they go to an actual page either on your site or off your site. And then we also want to make sure that we have canonical tags on each web page or blog post. Canonical tag and then identifies the actual page that you want to be indexed and looked at. If there's similar content or similar text between 2 pages, you want to let the bots and the crawlers know, the spiders know that this is the content that we want for this subject. All right, so if you've got 2 different types of blue shoes, but you want to make sure that the category of blue shoes on your e-com site is the one that's the most important, then you want to make sure and put a canonical tag that represents that. And next up is our letter R for CRIA, and R stands for rendering. Rendering means how that web page shows up in our browser for a user. So we want to make sure that it's fast, 3 seconds, all right? So your page has to load up in 3 seconds or you're dead. pretty much. You won't be able to show up on page 1. Google wants things to be designed mobile first. So the way they categorize and the way they index pages is, what does that page look like on mobile? And how fast is it responding on mobile? What's the user experience on mobile? And this is so important that next month in June 2021, they are updating their core algorithm to rank websites with the core web vitals, which is part of what I'm talking about here, which is how fast your page loads, the content, how fast is that rendered on the page, your main bulk content, your page, does it shift and then actually settle into that theme or the style of the page fairly quickly. So those are all pretty important things, as well as if your site is an international site, you want to make sure that you've got the proper HREFLANG tags on there, and those are language tags. So if you've got an English version and you've got a French version, you want to make sure that the French version appears for those people that speak French and read French. And if you've got an American English version, that appears for the American English audience. And there's a way to label those pages properly so that whoever is coming to your website looks at the best version for them and their search, right? To answer that question that they might have, which is what a search is about, right? People are trying to get some of their questions answered online. All right, the next letter is I for indexing. So indexing your page and your website depends on your sitemap. Basically, the sitemap lists all the pages and all the content on your website. You want to make sure you have a secure SSL certificate on your website. So basically, this means that it's a secure site, and you're minimizing the possibility for spamware or malware on people that come onto your site and provide you secure information like a credit card number or a birth date or any sort of other sensitive information. Structured data is very important in indexing. You want to make sure that each page is labeled with the proper structured data labels, and also broken links apply here as well. You want to make sure that you're not trying to index a page that's no longer available. If you want to make sure that you redirect it and index only the new page that it's being redirected to, not both the page that's broken and the new page or the page that's being redirected. And we'll talk about that in more detail in another video. And then canonical tags again are very important in indexing because the search engines will go by the canonical tags most of the times and index whatever you've put in your canonical tag as important to you. All right, the last one is the A, so architecture. Yep, every site has architecture. Basically, it's the structure of the URLs and how the folders are layered within the website itself. So we want to make sure that your URLs are logically ordered. So if you've got a main subject, for example, taking our example with e-commerce, categorizing blue shoes, let's say you've got a category for casual shoes, and that's your parent topic, and then your subcategory or your category topic, and then your subcategory would be blue casual shoes, and another subcategory could be blue casual men's shoes, blue casual children's shoes. All right, so now you've got all these little subcategories under your main category, casual shoes. So you want to make sure that you structure your URL address correctly, all right, so that it doesn't confuse the crawlers, the spiders, the bots, any of that, and also the user if they're looking to go back a couple of spots, from the subcategory of children's blue shoes, and maybe they just want to go look at everything that you have available that's a blue shoe, because maybe they want to buy their entire family casual blue shoes. All right, who knows? But you want to make sure that that is laid out logically on your website. And the other thing that's pretty important is if you've got blogs, You want blog postings or article postings on your website. You want to make sure that your categories for your blog make sense and your tags for each blog post make sense. And you don't want to over tag stuff. You don't want to put 50 tags on an article. Yeah, it's kind of like keyword stuffing. You don't want to do that either. You don't want to put your keyword 50 times on a page, maybe twice. And then you put, well, that's another video. Okay, so kind of rounding this up, you want to make sure that whatever you do, you prioritize your technical SEO for your website because this creates a foundation for your website and your SEO. And you want to make sure that it's done correctly. It's up to best practices, and best practices for technical SEO. You can find that information on our website at SEOdigitalpartners.com. And also, after all this is said and done, again, you got to think back, what is the purpose of all this? Why do I have to get all technical with my website and learn all this? You really don't. You could learn how to do it and then do it yourself, or you can hire someone else like SEO Digital Partners to do it for you. But the key thing is to make sure that your website is optimized mobile first. In other words, designed for a mobile device first instead of being mobile responsive, which is designed on a desktop and then designed for a mobile device, which means you take away things from that design to make it fit into a smaller screen, which is the whole point why I'm doing these videos in a vertical style to fit a mobile device. But we'll go into mobile optimizations and mobile first sites on another video. But your SSL certificate is important, and then your sitemap is important, your Robots.txt file is important. You know, everything counts in large amounts. I think there was a 90s band that had a song by that title, Everything Counts in Large Amounts. It sure does with SEO. So I hope that this has kind of clarified a few things. Hope it didn't muddy the water too much for you, but I hope that you guys learned something from this. And if you've got questions, just list them in the comments below. Be sure to like this video. And if you like the video, please give us a comment. Why did you like it? You give me a thumbs up, but then say, hey, I enjoyed that you guys were wearing the Texas Ranger shirt. Thumbs up. Or thumbs up because the audio was clear, you know, or hey, good information, thumbs up. Whatever it is, just kind of explain why you're giving us the thumbs up or the heart or the little hand claps or whatever it is that you can do on LinkedIn or YouTube. But we appreciate the comments, and we'll try to improve on these videos as time goes on. And hopefully, like I said, you gain some information that's valuable to your business, because our purpose here is, as we've mentioned before, our purpose is to level the playing field in digital marketing for small businesses. We want to make sure small businesses can compete at or better than their national or international competitors. So we're here to help. Hope that helped, and enjoy the rest of your weekend and rest of your week, and look forward to making the next video appearance for you here next Saturday. And good luck. Happy SEOing.